What's going on, everybody? This is Verified Sources with SJG. I am Stephen J. Gaither, the founder of HBCU Game Day and the host of this podcast. This is a show where we talk to some of the heavy hitters in collegiate athletics, a lot of administrators, powerful folks who are making and transforming the current and future of HBCU sports and beyond. And today is no doubt the most heavy hitter laden show that I've had a chance to bring to you guys. We've got two conference commissioners, two groundbreaking conference commissioners, two presidents who are doing amazing things as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So we are currently, as I'm shooting this, is November 13th. So the CIAA Football Championship is right around the corner, as well as the SIAC. It's also almost basketball season. So I had to start this off with Jackie McWilliams Parker. She is the commissioner of the CIAA. She is the longest reigning commissioner of any of the HBCU commissioners. So I had a chance to talk to her about not only the football championship, and of course there's always the basketball championship, but also about some of the emerging sports that are going on within the CIAA and how they are shaping policy and the changes that are going on there. So sit back, relax, listen to that, and we'll be back after this. Let's talk about, transition from that and talk about something I wanted to just see that I've been observing, and that's this, like, these emerging sports. I know, as you say, CIAA, you guys will definitely be not afraid to try things new. And I know just over a year ago, you guys announced that, you guys were looking at flag football, and I know they had an inaugural season. The Rams won of women's flag football. So just what the reception was from that, and how you guys expect it to grow moving forward.
Exciting. I'm the chair of the Committee on Access and Opportunity Impact, and one of our charges is to evaluate emerging sports and opportunities. This January, during our convention, there'll be a couple of emerging sports on the floor. Cheer and tumbling is one. I think wrestling has already been vetted out. Women's flag football will be one that will be voted on. Our conference has been very supportive of it. We brought it in kind of as a club sport, and an opportunity for our schools to determine if this would be something that they would be interested in. There's a lot of young women that were probably former athletes in other sports that see this as an opportunity to extend their athletic season. And so last year was absolutely fun. I mean, I think I was really proud that our 8 institutions at the time were committed to make it happen, working with the NFL, and I always get the XR. I always say it wrong. I shouldn't, because they've helped with some funding and supporting our flag football efforts across national collegiate athletics, period. But the NFL, we've been talking to them for years about it. And so to have that support and to see our 8 schools be represented last year on the campus of Johnson C. Smith and to watch it on our stream was exciting. This coming year, if the NCAA passes it as a sports-sponsored sport, it is likely that the CIAA will add it as a sports-sponsored sport for the CIAA as well. The board will vote on that. Either this coming December or after, hopefully this December, that if it does become a sponsored sport for the NCAA, that we will accept it as one. And then hopefully the 7 schools that currently are participating will continue to participate. We'll do a similar spring championship or a spring event as we did last year. And then when it becomes an official sponsored sport, we'll work on scheduling and all those other things to make it fun. My hope is that, talking to my HBCU colleagues, that we'll find some rivalry amongst our HBCUs in flag football and find a way to compete against one another. And we probably have the most in our conference, but even the ones that, if they only have 1 or 2, it doesn't mean that we can't find a way to compete with each other on the schedule.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. I'm gonna say, even if it's not official at Winston-Salem State, we're definitely claiming that inaugural championship, and no one will ever be able to take that away from us. No, but it's yeah, I really enjoyed. I was able to go out to the first match here in Winston-Salem, and it was great to see the young ladies, getting a chance to compete in that arena, in that field. I have to ask you now. Young Jackie was busy with basketball and volleyball. But would she have been tempted to do women's flag football in the spring?
Absolutely would have. I mean, I would play rugby. Like, I just think I love rugby. My daughter, my oldest bonus daughter, she plays in the military, and I love the sport. It's fast, it's fun, it's I don't know if it's safe, but flag football similar, right? It's a grind. It allows for some athletic ability. I love it. I would want to play. If I could play now, I probably would see without hurting myself, but I probably hurt myself really bad trying to win.
I think you got some plays in you. You still got a couple plays in you,
Thank
but
you for that confidence.
no doubt, no doubt. So, and then beyond that, I know this past weekend, because I did run into you at the Virginia State Virginia Union game, but also over at Virginia State University, you guys there was an event, the CIAA Cup. I know, again, the CIAA doesn't have enough teams or pro schools that play the sport right now to have it as a sponsored championship event, but you guys had the Soccer Cup. Virginia State, the host university, won both of them. But really great matchups. I got a chance to catch the women's matchup championship against Bluefield State. We just talk about again the opportunity there, even though they may not be
Yeah.
specifically in the NCAA conference together, getting them all together and building rivalries and building that up.
Yeah, and again, I commend President Abdullah, who's the chair of our long range planning committee, and members of our board. Over the past few years, we've just been talking about how to one, grow sports in our conference. And we're a basketball, football conference, obviously, and then our women's sports. Volleyball is pretty strong as well. Soccer has always been on the list since I've been here. This is my 14th season. And so it's always been on our list to evaluate. Schools just haven't picked it up. Adding sports is great, but you want to make sure you have the resources and the revenue to do that so that they have that experience that they deserve. So I prefer not to add additional sports if you can't take care of the sports that you currently have. And we talk about that with the board and our leadership as well. So as excited as we are, to have these sports on the rise, if they're added, we want to make sure that those students have the good experience that they deserve. So the non-sponsored sports that we've talked about, baseball, men's tennis, even lacrosse, soccer, those schools that have it, to really figure out a way how to engage those sports as part of the CIAA. No, we don't sponsor it as a sports sponsored championship for the conference, but is there a way for them to still compete with each other and call it something that gives
Mhm.
them, a place of winning a
Mhm.
championship, whatever you want to name it, the soccer cup is fine,
Mhm.
so that they can experience what it feels like to be a part of the CIAA. They are CIAA student athletes. We don't sponsor the sport, but they are our next generation of storytellers and alumni that we want them to be a part of any of our schools that sponsor that sport to come back, but as part of seeing themselves as part of the CIAA, that we care about it as well. And it's work to work with our institutions and make those games happen. The athletic directors will be engaged and involved on making sure we can get that done, and the conference will figure out how to support those championships, or those events that take place outside of the CIAA regular sports championships that we host.
Yeah,
So
no, I think it's a great idea. I really enjoyed it. And I don't think a lot of people realize when you're talking about emerging sports that generally means you're adding to, schools enrollment and, just how that helps the universities out in general, a lot of these sports, people come, maybe they wouldn't come if they weren't going to be playing a sport or they didn't offer the sport. So, I really think that that's a lot of excitement around there, and I can't wait to see how
yeah,
things move forward from there.
yeah,
Um, I'll ask you, I'll get greedy. I'll ask you, the you guys do so many things and you're so innovative. And as obviously you guys operate within the parameters of Division II, but you guys have so much visibility and you guys are really groundbreaking. I know a lot of our CIAA schools have really great athletes and they are being consistently poached in this new era of the NCAA, where everything is year to year. I mean, some of the schools, I mean, everybody's in the transfer portal because everybody's looking for that leg up. Are there any plans or any thoughts on how to figure out how schools on how to mitigate these issues? I know obviously as Division II institutions, the resources necessarily aren't there to pay kids $10,000 a month or something like that. But have you guys talked about anything around that? Just as you guys are going forward and just kind of how this thing works out?
Yeah, I think it's always a constant conversation. I mean, we want to be competitive. I mean, we know that we're not on an equal playing ground, period. Never have been, right? Until we started athletics, we were, until some of the bigger schools were able to have bigger offerings to attract our students to go to their institutions. It's just a different time, different day that's happening, right? So we're not even talking about access to scholarship. We're talking about access to NIL funds and money. Like, how much can you pay a student athlete? Our alumni are asking, and schools are asking alumni to pay into the NIL or the collaborative. Like that, they're not even asking for donations to the athletic departments in the same way, because the competition is around how much you can offer a student. And at the end of the day, Steve, I think it's frustrating to me because I think we've taken away the innocence of what college sports was supposed to be. I feel even more disappointed that these young people that have spent, and parents who have spent years in youth sports and trying to prepare their kids for an opportunity to go to college, that they may not even be the first look anymore. They may be the last look, depending on what's in the transfer portal or what's coming from junior colleges, which junior college was happening anyways, but now the game has changed and shifted again, where they might be more attractive than a high school student that can help start your program. So I think we're always going to talk about it. We have concerns as HBCUs, but in the CIAA, we know exactly what we can and cannot do. I think as I work with our board and our presidents, I mean, we know who we are, who we stand for. We know who our institutions are and what they can and cannot do. Some can do a little bit more than others, whether they're state or private institutions. But what we're not going to do is try to compete in a system that we just won't be able to compete in. I mean, we'll do the best that we can in providing opportunities. We want our kids to have NIL. I've always believed in name, image, and likeness, right? There was this rule surrounding it. Division II had been doing it way before, it became a thing through our legislation to allow student athletes to make and earn money off their name. And now it's just a much bigger thing where, state to state laws and rules just make it very difficult to manage for our institutions. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I just, we're looking at the SCORE Act. I don't think we should pay students.
Mhm.
I think if we did, we'll put our HBCUs in a different position on what college sports will look like. It won't look like it currently is. I don't think it would be, because I don't think we'll have the revenue to support those efforts. And so we just have to keep talking about it, be at the table, but stay in line of our mission of who we are. I mean, we've been competing behind for a long time and doing very well.
No doubt about it, no doubt. So,
Yeah.
yeah, again, talking with Commissioner McWilliams Parker of the CIAA, they have a big event coming up this week, a huge event, the CIAA Championship game. And yeah, got two institutions in there. One, Virginia Union, that's been there a lot quite recently, and then another, Johnson C. Smith, who yeah, the last time they were there, there's probably on microfilm. It's been a while, but they're here now, and they're excited about it over in Charlotte. So yeah, just talk to me about that and having the championship. I actually plotted out the distance for both schools from this, and uh, and I think there's about a 12-minute difference as far as if they left at the same time, probably depending on the traffic getting out of Richmond or Charlotte, they would get there almost at the same time.
It's we haven't been in Durham for 10 years. So going back is a celebration on its own for those fans who've been wanting us to come back to
Mhm.
North Carolina. And I will say that we had a great run in Salem, like them as hosts, the facility, the ability to do and make impact in the community. And for those young people that are, young people who aspire to go to college, had an opportunity to have that exposure to our institutions, which that's always the goal, to make community impact and for the student athletes to play on a good quality field. And people may not know Salem is probably around the same distance for all the schools in our conference, so everybody was driving 3.5 to 4 hours depending. So
Mhm.
we're in the same situation with Durham. It just might be a little bit warmer in Durham than it was in Salem, so just a little bit. So and I still have my bag of gloves and everything I need just in case. You just never know given the week that we've had with weather. But we're excited. The Durham Sports Commission, they're great. I think it's a different setup than we had when we were there in the previous years, where we actually have, a host that bidded to have the championship in the city, to work directly with the host institution, Shaw University, and to work with the Durham County Sports Facility, well, the facility, the stadium, and for them to build their own local organizing committee to help support what we need for a championship that we've established since I've been here for the last 13 years. So I really rely on community to help us execute our championships, and to have Johnson C. Smith and Virginia Union, two private schools as
Mhm.
well. I mean, there's always questions about, can private schools ever get to the championship? And absolutely they can.
Right.
There's an investment in their programs and support from their leadership, as there is for other institutions. And so for them to have the opportunity to play in their home state, like you said, is great. And for Virginia Union to be in their third year run, and leading, in Division II, is exciting to see these two teams come together. Two great coaches, Coach Parker and Coach Flowers, amazing men and human beings that have developed programs that really deserve to be in the championship. And so I'm excited to see the outcome and to be on HBCU Go on our platform, nationally televised. So it's exciting for CIAA and our football. We want to grow football. We talk a lot about basketball and the growth of that. I think if we continue to market the way we are, and pulling in our alumni from all of our institutions and letting them see that there's an opportunity to have the biggest and greatest CIAA Division II homecoming ever for our championship, we can do that. But we're building. We're building back from coming, from being out for a while and then coming back in our footprint.
Yeah, no, it's there's a lot going on. There's a lot of momentum. You're talking about CIAA football. You have both of these teams are in the regional rankings, and likely even the loser of this game will probably go on to be in the playoffs this year. As well as Fayetteville State is ranked there as well. So I think that speaks to the competitiveness of CIAA football. As again, even though we're known for basketball. I have to ask you really quickly before we get off of here. Again, you guys have so much going on. You got the basketball tournament, you got the emerging sports, you got the football surging. You guys are a really attractive conference, and a lot of people. There are people are always asking about that E word, and like you said, college athletics is changing. Um, I'm sure you guys are getting accosted quite a bit. People interested in trying to join the train. Is there more room on the train for the CIAA?
I think, since I've been here, we've always looked at, what could expansion look like? I mean, that was the first question that was asked when I got here. With Shawan coming in, then Shawan leaving out, spending the time with Claflin University. That was a huge win for us. Even though they didn't have football, they have an established institution and history and athletic programs, I think, that have complemented well with CIAA, and they've competed well within the CIAA. So that's exciting. With Bluefield coming in the last couple of years. We've been talking to them since I walked in the door at the CIAA of what that opportunity could look like, and having the right leadership to understand and value what CIAA is, and their responsibility as being a member if they wanted to be in here. So it's not you just wanting to be in the CIAA. Our board is very bullish about who gets to come in and what value they bring, and what value we bring to them, and what value they bring to the CIAA. So I think, Steve, will always look and see the schools around us and what makes sense. We give a nice, healthy distribution. We have our media rights. We're probably one of the largest in Division II to have the distribution that we have, the way we give out scholarships and our sponsorships. So you don't come into a conference getting nothing. There's definitely a return of investment being a part of the CIAA, as we are a family and trying to make sure everybody's whole in participating in college athletics. So it's not off the table. We'll continue to talk to those who have been reaching out, and to explore what those opportunities are in the future. If it was up to some of our presidents, we just have one big HBCU, conference. Like, we would just be our own entity of, Division I and II, and maybe even Kiki and her group in the NAIA space.
Right,
but
right.
That's just not the reality that we're in. So, but if there's ways that we can work together and support each other, I think we're doing a really good job at doing that. We're good at Division II and having the number of schools that we currently have, with always the opportunity what other schools could bring, complement what we're currently doing, and bring value to where we're going in the future.
All right. So I want to thank Commissioner McWilliams Parker for giving us the time. Again, we're right up against the CIAA championship game. So that was really great to get that perspective. Now, let's go back a little bit. Last week was a busy week of HBCU football. You had the last week for the CIAA, the MEAC and SWAC, the FCS. They still have a couple weeks left to play. So I left Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and hit the road first to go to Baltimore. So I have been to a lot of HBCUs and a lot of HBCU venues. One place I had never been before was Morgan State University. And no better time than right now, because they were taking on Delaware State University on a Friday night game, primetime game. Del State came in 6-3, fresh off of a couple wins, including a North Carolina Central win, and Deshaun Jackson has those guys on fire. But they also just came off the MEAC just came off the game between Del State and Norfolk State, which took place at Lincoln Financial Field, featuring Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick. So it was a historic game. Simone and Kobe were out there, so lucky them. I didn't get a chance to go to that game, but I did pull up to Baltimore on Friday night, and I got a chance to talk to Commissioner Sonja Stills about the impact of what's going on with the new coaches that have entered the MEAC, and also getting their games flexed to nights or days other than the traditional Saturday. So here's some of that conversation that I had with her. We are here in Baltimore. It's been a busy, 10 plus days for you guys. Football season's always busy, but just, talk about last week in Philadelphia, what went on there with you guys getting that primetime spotlight.
Yeah, actually, it was great. Having Norfolk State and Del State play, you got two celebrity coaches going at it, brotherly love, actually up in Philly at Lincoln Stadium. It was amazing. ESPN really bought in and put that game out there, and it's just another way to amplify the conference on a national platform, and looking forward to seeing more of that as we go through the season.
Yeah. And then right after that, it was announced that you guys, they flexed this game from Saturday to Friday. Mm-hmm. Was that something that was kind of already in the works, or was that kind of like they saw something that was really good and decided they want to keep working?
At this point, it saw something working and kind of going with it. I think ESPN does a great job of selecting the games that really going to help push the conference and the institutions to a national spotlight. And so we look forward to having more linear games that are going to be, might be on a Friday night, could be on a Thursday like it was, but any way that it can help amplify our institutions, that's what we want to happen.
And then next week, you guys have one that was flexed a little bit earlier down in Durham, North Carolina Central and South Carolina State, two programs that, have had a really great series and had a lot of success for you guys. How does it, again, another opportunity for you guys to showcase some other folks?
Again, I mean, when you think about the talent that we have in the conference, it's anybody's Celebration Bowl. Anybody can go. And so, when you're looking at the top two teams in the conference, and then here with Delaware State coming up as one of the top three, any way that we can continue to show the talent that we have, the better off it is. It's not only good for the MEAC, but in the institutions, but also as HBCUs as a whole.
After I left Baltimore, and man, there was a whole story behind that. Check with us on Road Warriors, the next one that we do. Anyway, after that, I went down to Richmond on Saturday, where Virginia State and Virginia Union were playing in the Wilder Education Classic. And so this was a really great atmosphere. This is one of the marquee games of the CIAA season. These are the two HBCUs at the Division II level in Virginia, and they come together for common ground with honoring Douglas Wilder, who was the first African-American governor of Virginia. He's also the gentleman that pardoned Allen Iverson when he was a young man and ran into some trouble. So a legend in the state of Virginia. He's also a graduate of both Virginia Union and Norfolk State. So this is a big game. So I got a chance. So when I came in to historic Hovey Field, the first thing that I saw, one of the first people that I saw were President Makola Abdullah of Virginia State University and President Dr. Hakeem Lucas of Virginia Union University. So I had to pull up on both of them and talk about some of the things that are going on in their university. Now, Virginia State, just about a week earlier, announced that they were one of the schools that got those Mackenzie Scott dollars. Big shout out to Mackenzie Scott. She just blessed my alma mater, Winston-Salem State, with $50 million too. So, Mackenzie, much love here. Maybe one day we'll get you on Verified Sources exclusive. Let's do it. So I talked to him about that, as well as some of the other initiatives that they got going on as well. Let's hear from him. All right, so we're here with President Makola Abdullah, Virginia State University. First off, congratulations on your extension. How does it feel to, know that you're going to be there, for quite a while?
It feels great. I mean, Virginia State has been very good to me. I hope I've been good to it. And so I'm just excited to be at VSU and continue to work for the Orange and Blue. I got to shout out, since we're at Virginia Union, I got to shout out Lucas and Governor Wilder for having this game and having us here. Nothing beats rivalry games. Nothing beats rivalry games.
Okay, awesome. And you guys, obviously, big in the news lately. Mackenzie Scott's been donating to a lot of HBCUs, and you guys are one of them once again. Just talk about this gift, the second for Virginia State University.
And look, it's just a big thank you to Mackenzie Scott. And congratulations to all the other HBCUs that have been in that number. We hope that everybody can. It's a wonderful transformational gift for Virginia State University. We're excited to receive it. Very excited about it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And obviously you guys had the first one. And so what ways did do you think the ways that you guys built off that kind of maybe helped you, open you guys up to getting, being on the list again?
Look, I hope so. I don't know exactly how you end up on the list. And so we're just excited to be there and very thankful. I'll say this, though, for everybody who's watching, if you're not subscribed to HBCU Game Day, then you are not doing the thing. I appreciate the work that you all do in HBCU sports and growing sports. So thank you for what you do. Everybody subscribe, HBCU Game Day.
And I hear you guys are like a reverse free agent. Now that you got money, you got some more money, people are looking at you.
Reverse free agent. I'm not sure how to answer that question, sir, but we're excited to be here.
And once again, thanks for Dr. Abdullah for giving the time there. Busy time during the game, shaking hands, royal court, all of these things. There was so much going on, but appreciated him taking the time out for me. And then we have Dr. Lucas. His Virginia Union Panthers were victorious in this game, 14-3, and they are heading towards Durham for their chance at a three-peat, which is very rare. If I count the modern era of the CIAA, which starts at 1971, you've got the 74, 75, 76 Norfolk State teams. You've got the 92, 93, 94 Hampton teams, and then you've got the 2018, 19, and then 21 Bowie State, with obviously there was a year in between there. But 3 in a row is really tough to do. So I had a chance to talk to Dr. Lucas about not only supporting the football program, which has done well in his reign and his regime, but also their band, who has been pulling up as well. So let's hear from Dr. Lucas about that. We are here with Virginia Union University President Dr. Hakeem Lucas. Dr. Lucas, VUU, you guys are headed back to the CIAA Championship game down in Durham this year. Congratulations. How you feeling about where your program has been?
Oh, we're extremely excited. As you can see, anytime you can do a three-peat for the third time in history with, Coach Taylor and, of course, Coach Bailey, it's awesome. The university is just on an ascent and just riding this wave of momentum. Clearly, in the age of NILs and portals, to see students come back and to see them not only perform on the field, but in the classroom, and then, of course, to have to be known for now running backs and to add football to what is a basketball school. We try to remind people, we're built on basketball. But thanks to Dr. Parker and Hall of Famer Coach Taylor, we can now add football to that.
Yeah, no, we're here at the game, and obviously you got your counterpart, Dr. Abdullah, over there. You got the president and Chancellor. You got the commission over here as well. It seems like you guys in the CIAA really work well and really tightly, even though you're all very competitive. What's that like for you guys? And what does CIAA mean to you all?
Hey, I grew up in this higher education administration stuff with President Abdullah, and he's just an amazing colleague. We call him the Dean of Virginia HBCUs, as he's the longest serving, and he's extremely supportive. We support everything that he does. He supports us on and off the field. The commissioner is the #1 commissioner in all of athletics. There's nobody like her, and just extremely excited about everything that every program in the CIAA does. We understand in our conference that, look, what one brand does, it affects the other brand. When one does well, we all do well. And at every season of time, everybody's going to carry that banner. Bowie carried it for a while. Fayetteville State carried it. And Virginia Union is able to carry it now. And one day we'll hand it off to somebody, but not too soon. Not too soon.
All right, lastly, talk about your band. I know a lot of folks have made some remarks about how you guys seem to be bigger, fuller, and an uptick sound. As a president, how much of that in your role is to support those guys?
Look, at the end of the day, there are two entities that can build the university brand, particularly in historically black college and university world. That's athletics and the band. The third, close very behind it, is the choir. These three performing units are critical to the advancement of the brand, the excitement, the electrification of who we are in our momentum. The band is at the center of everything. They are the one group that has no season that they are off. They play for everybody. They encourage everybody. They march, they step, they blow. They're just an essential part. I am only responsible for one thing, making sure that the right leader is selected. We have a guy in P.J. Howard that has brought a Southern, Western, funk, Louisiana style. He believes in big brass, and we're just excited about it. We're marching 96, y'all, so don't let nobody think that it's 150, but they got a 200 band sound, and we walking and marching like we in the SWAC. And so y'all get ready. This is only the beginning. Yes, every president listen to me, every chancellor listen to me. You need to invest in your band, because I'm throwing it in. I'm all in on the band. Gotta win it, gotta take it. HBCU game day, don't forget. Who's the #1 band in the CIAA? Come on now. Vote up, vote right, vote right.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lucas, for your time. I'm sure I'll see you this weekend at the CIAA Championship game. It should be a great time. I'm looking forward to it. Only way I could look forward to it more is if my Rams were in it, but we'll see there. They're going through some changes as well, so they will be having a new head coach going on. And so, again, a lot moving in the world of college athletics, particularly in HBCUs, and as you saw in the MEAC and CIAA. So a lot of exciting things to go on. Let us know what you guys think about the show, about the format, and we will catch you guys in the next video. You are watching Verified Sources with SJG. What's going on, everybody? This is Verified Sources with SJG. I am Stephen J. Gaither, the founder of HBCU Game Day and the host of this podcast. This is a show where we talk to some of the heavy hitters in collegiate athletics, a lot of administrators, powerful folks who are making and transforming the current and future of HBCU sports and beyond. And today is no doubt the most heavy hitter laden show that I've had a chance to bring to you guys. We've got two conference commissioners, two groundbreaking conference commissioners, two presidents who are doing amazing things as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So we are currently, as I'm shooting this, is November 13th. So the CIAA Football Championship is right around the corner, as well as the SIAC. It's also almost basketball season. So I had to start this off with Jackie McWilliams Parker. She is the commissioner of the CIAA. She is the longest reigning commissioner of any of the HBCU commissioners. So I had a chance to talk to her about not only the football championship, and of course there's always the basketball championship, but also about some of the emerging sports that are going on within the CIAA and how they are shaping policy and the changes that are going on there. So sit back, relax, listen to that, and we'll be back after this.